Welcome to Excel Class Up. I'm Mr. Shola by name, aka Mr. Show. We are looking at the subject CRS, and today we want to look at topics that are classified as the unwise policies of Solomon. Bible reference: 1 Kings chapter 9, verse 15 to 23, and then 1 Kings chapter 11, 1 to 40. And then we now look again at the unwise policies of Rehoboam. Bible reference: 1 Kings chapter 12, 1 to 20. Now, I have said it earlier on in my previous classes that the Bible recommended for these topics is the revised standard version, RSV. This is the recommended Bible for CRS. I used to call it scholastic CRS. This CRS is meant for scholars, different from what we preach on the altar in churches. Because of the theological aspects of the history we shall be mentioning in subsequent teachings. So, the unwise policies of Solomon is what we are going to take. And now we know King Solomon to be the wisest king and the richest king then and presently in record. Nobody has broken the record of King Solomon. I mentioned that in my last class. Now, what made King Solomon to be unwise? And why were some of his policies tagged to be unwise policies? Of course, if you look at the Bible reference that I've mentioned, 1 Kings chapter 9, verse 15 to 23, and the same 1 Kings 11, 1 to 40, we began to see some of the traits, some of the attitude or characters that Solomon began to portray that made most of his policies unwise. Now, here is a list of some of his reforms or policies that did not go well with the children of Israel. Now, the first one here is the taxation policy or taxation policies. The levy that Solomon imparted or included in the administration of his kingdom. Not only that, we saw his marriage to foreign women, which was contrary to the standard of God's word. And God told the Israelites, make sure you don't have any mixed marriage. Make sure you don't have anything to do with other women apart from the Israelite women, because if you get married to them, they can change your mind. Of course, Solomon experienced that. Then we had religious syncretism. Solomon allowing foreign gods to come into Israel. Solomon mixing Judaism with other religion. And that became part of his unwise policies. Then we saw forced labor. Of course, elementarily or in Solomon's kingdom, you are forced to work. And not only that, even the wages for your labor is nothing to write home about. Because Solomon was engaging in building his kingdom, building the palace, and building his own house. Solomon built his house for 13 years and built the palace for 7 years. And then, under these particular unwise policies of Solomon, we want to look at, under religious syncretism, the imported gods that Solomon brought to Israel. And not only that, the imported gods that the women that Solomon got married to brought into Israel. Of course, one of them as listed here is Ashtoreth. Ashtoreth happens to be a Canaanite goddess of fertility. A Canaanite goddess of fertility. Now, Solomon built an altar for this goddess of fertility on Mount Olives, which was later mentioned in the New Testament Gospel. Yes, an altar was built for this particular goddess on Mount Olives. And then this goddess is known for fertility. How? Now, probably if you are looking for the fruit of the womb, it is at the shrine of this goddess that people go to worship and seek for solace. Sometimes we are made to understand that sexual intercourse can take place in the temple of this goddess for those who are not fertile, that is, whose womb has been closed, or a male organ that is not effective. So Ashtoreth was that goddess that allows it to happen. And then we have Molech. Molech is a similar god to what we call the Oro today, the Oro. There is a particular god in Yoruba land they call Oro. And that god is known to be appeased with women. It is an abomination for a woman to behold the Oro. A woman that beholds the Oro happens to become the sacrifice of that god. Now, Molech happens to be the god of the Ammonites, the god of Ammon. Now, an altar was also built for this god on Mount Olives. Now, Ashtoreth, we have the Bible reference in 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 5. And then Molech, we have the Bible reference in 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 7. And then we have Chemosh, another foreign god that was brought into Israel by the numerous wives that Solomon got married to. One of the wives of Solomon brought the god Chemosh, also a foreign god. Then we have Baal. Baal happens to be a Canaanite god, associated also with fertility and storm. And of course, this god came into Israel through one of the wives of Solomon. And then we have the sun god known as Ra or Re. It was introduced into Israel by an Egyptian wife. We have that Bible reference in 2 Kings chapter 23, verse 4 to 5. Now, Solomon's unwise policies, like we have mentioned, brought in taxation that did not go well with the Israelites, marriage with foreign women, and then religious syncretism, mixing the worship of mixing the worship of God, that is Judaism, with other foreign gods. And then forced labor happens to be another policy that Solomon brought that led to rebellion among the Israelites. The aftermath of all these policies brought about rebellion. And of course, we shall look at that when Rehoboam became the new king. Now, we shall look at reference question to the effect of this particular topic. Reference question, questions from 1 to 10. We shall look at those questions in the light of this topic, the unwise policies of Solomon, and how it relates to past questions. Now, this will be read from the desk. This will be read from the desk. One to 10. All right. Unwise policies of Solomon. Yeah.
First question.
I think, sorry. Okay.
First question says, the Lord told Solomon.
Question 1. Reference question, which year?
1978.
UTME 1978, question 17. Yeah.
The Lord told Solomon his kingdom.
The Lord told Solomon his kingdom
will be divided after his death.
Will be divided after his death. Because A.
He had married foreign women.
He had married foreign women. B.
He had built the temple.
He had built the temple. C.
He followed other gods.
He followed other gods. D.
He oppressed Israel.
He oppressed Israel. The answer is what? C. He followed other gods. Religious syncretism. Judaism was a worship that was introduced. Now, when you synchronize it with other gods, it becomes religious syncretism. So Solomon followed other gods, and God told him, after his death, his kingdom will be divided. Question 2.
Question 2, 1986, question 16.
UTME 1986, question 16.
So it is wrong. It was wrong
It was wrong
for King Solomon
for King Solomon
to have married foreign women.
to have married foreign women. Because why?
A.
A.
They would entice him to worship idols.
They will entice him to worship idols. B.
Women of Israel were more beautiful.
The women of Israel were more beautiful. C.
Very jealous.
They were very jealous.
D. A king should not have too many children.
A king should not have too many. The answer is A. And what is that A from the deck?
They will entice him.
They will entice him to worship other gods, to worship idol. Question 3.
1988, question 24.
UTME 1988, question 24.
To whom did God promise?
To whom did God promise
to give the kingdom?
To give a kingdom.
After Solomon's heart turned away from the Lord.
After Solomon's heart turned away from the Lord. Yes. A. Rehoboam. B. Ahijah. C. Jeroboam. D. Jehoram. The answer is C. Jeroboam. When the kingdom was taken away from Solomon, God promised to give Jeroboam one of his servants, one of the servants of Solomon. Question 4.
1991, question 23.
UTME 1991, question 23. God revealed to Solomon
that the kingdom will be divided after him.
That the kingdom will be divided after him because he dashed. What did he do? Yes. A. Had many wives. B.
Overtaxed and enslaved the people.
Overtaxed and enslaved the people. C. Was too extravagant. D.
Worshipped other gods.
He worshipped other gods. So the answer is D. He worshipped other gods. He left God and worshipped other gods. Question 5.
2000, question 6.
UTME 2000, question 6. God told Solomon
that he will surely tear the kingdom.
That he will surely tear the kingdom from him
and give it to his dash.
And give it to his dash. Who was the dash? Yes. A. Son. B. Brother. C. Servant. D. Army commander. The answer is C. He will give it to Solomon's servant. That Solomon's servant happens to be who? Jeroboam. Question 6.
Question 6. UTME 2005, question 45.
UTME 2005, question 45. What punishment?
Did God give Solomon for his unwise policies?
Did God give Solomon for his unwise policies? Yes.
Jeroboam was empowered by God to conquer him.
Jeroboam was empowered by God to conquer him.
He caused Rezon to demolish the high place which he built.
He caused Rezon to demolish the high place he built.
C. He raised up Hadad the Edomites as an adversary against him.
He raised up Hadad the Edomite as an adversary.
D. The kingdom was torn from him and given to his servants.
The kingdom was torn from him and given to his servants. That is D. The answer is D. The kingdom was torn from him and given to his servants. Yes. Question 7.
2006, question 45.
UTME 2006, question 45.
Solomon attempted to kill Jeroboam because A. He was more popular than him.
He was more popular than him.
B. He was not faithful as the officer in charge of labor.
He was not faithful as the officer in charge of labor.
C. He did not report or prophesy concerning him.
He did not report or prophesy concerning him.
D. He was a threat to the throne.
He was a threat to the answer is D. Jeroboam became a threat to the throne. Question 8.
2008, question 27.
UTME 2008, question 27.
An unwise decision of Solomon.
An unwise decision of Solomon was the issue of
A. Building of the palace.
Building of the palace.
B. Building of the temple.
Building of the temple.
C. Felling of timber.
Felling of timber.
D. Forced labor.
Forced labor. The answer is D. Forced labor became part of unwise policies of Solomon. Question 9.
2011, question 13.
2011, question 13.
Solomon made the most unwise decision by engaging in that.
He made the most unwise decision by engaging in what? A.
Marriages to foreign women.
Marriages to foreign women.
B. Alliances with his brothers.
Alliances with his brothers.
C. So many wars of conquest.
So many wars of conquest.
D. Developmental works.
Developmental. The answer is A. So many marriages to foreign women. Question 10.
2014, question 12.
UTME 2014, question 12.
One of the effects of Solomon's marriage to many women.
One of the effects of Solomon's marriage to many women was that what?
A.
his heart was turned after other gods.
Mm-hmm.
B, he ceded parts of his kingdoms to them.
Mm-hmm.
C, he desecrated the temple of God.
Mm-hmm.
D, he lost all his wisdom.
The answer is A. His heart followed after other gods. All right, I have some reference question to the unwise policies of Solomon. Of course, don't forget that after the death of Solomon, Rehoboam became the next king. Now, Rehoboam is expected to have followed his father's legacies, at least by doing one or two things to the development of the kingdom. But unfortunately, Rehoboam took some of the policies of Solomon that led to the division of the kingdom. Don't forget that from the period of Saul down to the period of Solomon, it was a united kingdom. It was a united kingdom. And then Solomon came, Rehoboam came, beg your pardon. Rehoboam came, and what happened? Now, after a while, when Rehoboam became king, the elders of Israel came to him. And what did they come to do? They came to solicit for a relief concerning the policies of his father. And these are the policies. There should be a relief to taxation policy and forced labor. They weren't even in Rehoboam's palace to talk about either marriages or religious syncretism. But their major challenge and problem was that, look, this burden is too much. We also need money. We also need to fare with money. We are just taking everything to the king and his kingdom. We also need to be relieved. And then Rehoboam said, they should come back for his advice in 3 days' time. Take note, in 3 days. So Rehoboam told them to come back in 3 days' time with the hope that after 3 days, he will have done a due consultation. But we were told biblically that Rehoboam, instead of consulting with elders, he consulted with those who grew up with him, youth of his mate. And then on the third day, when the elders came, Rehoboam gave them a wrong answer. Rehoboam told them that his own policies will become more stronger and more terrible than that of his father. And then when the elders had the reply from Rehoboam, they now used a rebellious language. And what was that rebellious language? To your tent, O Israel. Anywhere that language is used in reference question or past question, it is start to be a rebellious language. To your tent, O Israel. And from that moment, the challenge of the kingdom of Rehoboam became very, very obvious. That the kingdom is going to be divided. So there were agitations, there were protests, there were revolutionary movements that made Rehoboam's kingdom to become shaky. And don't forget, during this period, there was a prophet known as Prophet Ahijah. Prophet Ahijah. Now, Prophet Ahijah was a prophet of the kingdom at that period, one of the prophets of the United Kingdom. And then this prophet met with Jeroboam, the servant of Solomon that looks like a threat to the kingdom. Having told Solomon that this is the guy that God is going to hand over the kingdom to. He ran out of the kingdom and went on exile. After the death of Solomon, he came back. And then when he came back, Ahijah met him in the farm. And Ahijah took hold of one of his clothes and tore them into 12 pieces. Now, from that prophetic stance, Ahijah told him 10 kingdoms will be for him, while 2 will be for the house of David. And then, from that moment, the kingdom became divided under the reign of Rehoboam. And then, now, don't forget that Rehoboam, during the divided kingdom, the capital base of his rulership was Jerusalem. While the capital base of The leadership of Jeroboam was Samaria. So Samaria was to Israel, while Jerusalem was to Judah. Maybe I should repeat so that there will be a better understanding. All right. When the kingdom became divided, class, when the kingdom became divided, Rehoboam's kingdom was limited to Jerusalem, the capital base. Jerusalem is attached to what? Judah. Judah and Benjamin. Those are the two kingdoms that God left. The name that built the kingdom. But Judah became more prominent. And then for Jeroboam, Samaria became the capital base. And the name Israel was attached to it. So Jeroboam had 10 kingdoms at his disposal. Rehoboam had 2 kingdoms at his disposal. Now, what happened? Now, because Jerusalem happens to be where the temple of worship was, now Jeroboam thought of something. Okay, how can I get the consent of these people? He made an error. And then he now erected an altar. He erected an altar in Samaria and then convinced the Israelites that this is the God that brought them out of Egypt, so that they will not become loyal to Rehoboam, so that Rehoboam will not gain the concept of those people. He erected an altar and then used it to confuse the Israelites that this is the God that brought them out of Egypt, so that they will not be going to Jerusalem for worship. And that was the beginning of his own downfall as the king of the southern kingdom. Lest I forget, this became the northern kingdom, and this became the southern kingdom. So Jeroboam was in charge of the southern kingdom. Rehoboam became in charge of the northern kingdom. That is why when you look at the book of Kings, a king is reigning in the north, another king is reigning in the south. A king is reigning in the south, another king is reigning in the north. So the kingdom became divided during the reign of Rehoboam. And God decided to punish Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, even to his lineage, for deceiving Israel and for returning Israel to idol worshiping. So we are going to look at more reference question to the unwise policies of Rehoboam as we have summarized this particular topic. So let's quickly look at question 1 to 10 that relates to the unwise policies of Rehoboam. From the desk.
1992 question 19.
UTME 1992 question 19.
The immediate cause of the division of the kingdom.
The immediate cause of the division of the kingdom was what?
A. Rehoboam's foolishness.
A. Rehoboam's foolishness.
B. Solomon's bad government.
Solomon's bad government.
C. Prophet Elijah's instigation.
Prophet Elijah's instigation.
D. Jeroboam's rebellion.
D. Jeroboam's rebellion. The answer is A. Rehoboam's foolishness led to the division of the kingdom. Question 2.
2000 question 2.
UTME 2000 question 2.
Now therefore,
lighten
the hard service of your father upon us.
Lighten the heavy burden of your father upon us.
And we will serve you.
And we will serve you.
This request was made to Rehoboam because.
This request was made to Rehoboam because of what?
A. The people had another person in mind.
The people had another person in mind.
B. The people wanted to test his wisdom.
The people wanted to test his wisdom.
C. Of an impending revolt.
Of an impending revolt.
D. The people wanted some relief.
The people wanted some relief. The answer is D. The people actually wanted some relief. That's why they came to him. Question 3.
2009 question 42.
2009 question 42. UTM 2009 question 42. Yes.
The kingdom of Israel was divided because.
The kingdom of Israel was divided because of what?
A. The kingdom was too large to be administered.
It was too large to be administered.
B. Leadership wanted to create more nations.
Leadership wanted to create more nations.
C. Followers
Followership wanted more nations.
Followership wanted more nations.
The last two kings made unwise policies.
The last two kings made unwise policies. The answer is D. The last two kings made unwise policies. And who were the king? Solomon and Rehoboam his son. Question 4.
1991, question 17.
UTME 1991, question 17.
To your tent, O Israel.
To your tent, O Israel.
This was a signal for
This
what?
was a signal for what?
A war.
A war.
B. Plebiscites.
B. Plebiscite.
C. Rebellion.
C. Rebellion.
D. Truce.
D. Truth. The answer is C. Rebellion. It was a signal for rebellion. Question 5.
1993, question 21.
UTME 1993, question 21.
The consequences of Rehoboam's unwise decision.
The consequence of Rehoboam's unwise decision.
At the time the Israelites came to him at Shechem.
At a time the Israelites came to him at Shechem.
Eventually resulted in what?
Eventually resulted in what? Yes.
Rebellion.
A. Rebellion.
B. War.
B. War.
C. Is overthrow.
C. Is overthrow.
D. Is fight from Jerusalem.
Is fight from Jerusalem. The answer is rebellion. What is that rebellion? A. Rebellion. It led to rebellion. Question 6.
1984, question 21.
UTME 1984, question 21.
To whom was this addressed?
To whom was this addressed?
The father made our yoke heavy.
Your father made our yoke heavy.
Now therefore lighten the hard service of your father
Now,
and set the yoke upon us.
therefore, lighten the burden of your father on us so that we can serve you. Yes.
A. Jeroboam.
A. Jeroboam.
B. Nebat.
B. Nebat.
C. Solomon.
C. Solomon.
D. Rehoboam.
D. Rehoboam. The answer is D. Rehoboam. That's the person that the statement was addressed to. Question 7.
1979, question 19.
UTME 1979, question 19.
My father chastised you with whips.
My father chastised you with whips,
But I will chastise you with scorpion.
but I will chastise you with scorpion.
Who said this?
Who said this?
A. Solomon.
A. Solomon.
B. Jeroboam.
B. Jeroboam.
C. Rehoboam.
C. Rehoboam.
D. Absalom.
D. Absalom. The answer is C. Rehoboam made that blunder by saying he would chastise the people with scorpion. Yes, question 8.
1979, question 25.
UTME 1979, question 25.
The United Kingdom of Israel
The United Kingdom of Israel
was divided into two as a result of that.
was divided into two as a result of dash. Yes, A.
The need for two states in Israel.
The need for two states in Israel.
B. The people's agitation for it.
The people agitations for it.
C. A fight between Rehoboam and Jeroboam.
A fight between Rehoboam and Jeroboam.
D. Rehoboam's rejection of the advice of the elders.
D. Rehoboam's rejection of the advice of the elders. That's the answer. D is the answer. Question 9.
1980, question 1.
UTME 1980, question 1.
The division of the kingdom of Israel
The division of the kingdom of Israel
took place during the reign of who?
took place during the reign of who?
A. Rehoboam.
A. Rehoboam.
B. Samuel.
B. Samuel.
C. Josiah.
C. Josiah.
D. Jehu.
C. D. Jehu. The answer is A. Rehoboam. Question 10.
1981, question 23.
UTME 1981, question 23.
After the death of Solomon,
After the death of Solomon,
the kingdom was split by both Judah and some Benjamites remained loyal.
the kingdom was split, but Judah and Benjamin remain loyal. These are the two kingdoms will to Rehoboam.
They remained loyal to who?
They remain loyal to who?
A. Ahab.
A. Ahab.
B. Prophet Zatan.
B. Prophet Zatan.
C. Jeroboam.
C. Jeroboam.
D. Rehoboam.
D. Rehoboam. The answer is Rehoboam. Judah and Benjamin remain loyal to Rehoboam. So these are some of the knowledge we need in our scholastic CRS teachings. And like I've always said, never stop learning because learning is fun.